sing alone, you can sing in front of other people. There's no difference.
Actually, there's a big difference.
No, there isn't. Wait. I'm singing. I'm in a store and I'm singing. I'm in a store and I'm singing.
Hey! There's no singing in the North Pole.
Yes, there is.
No, it's not.
We sing all the time.
No, it's not.
Especially when we make toys. See?
Attention all Campbell shoppers, please make your final purchases. We will be closing.
Hello, and welcome to the 40th video of this little series that we have going here. The featured movie of the week is none other than Elf with Will Ferrell. It's a great movie and it's a hilarious one, a Christmas-related one as well. And into our topic. So I want to make a quick note before I really go into this multi-digit division. If you are in 3rd grade, I know these division videos are recommended for you. However, I really want you to check with your teachers to see if you are able to do this or if you should do this, because this is kind of a little more complicated. Even though this does fit in our multiplication and division unit, it's an outlier because of the fact that it's a bit complex and it isn't needed until later grades. So just make sure 4th and 5th, if you're watching this, I think you're fine, more than fine. So quick note also, this is the last video of our division / multiplication unit, and I will be moving on to negative numbers. So stay tuned for that. But multi-digit division is basically the title of the thing, multi-digit division. So we have always been dividing with one number, whether it be 4, 5, 6, and this number could be as long as it wants, blah, blah, blah. It could be as long as it wants, have however many digits as it wants, but we have always had one number on the outside. Now this time, we're going to be having multiple digits, sorry, not just one. So, for an example, we're going to do quite easy one, 525. The way I would write this over here is 500 divided by 25, if you were wondering. And the way we do this is we don't look every single number. We look every 2 digits, because this is 2 digits. That means we look over here every 2 digits. If this had a 3, then we would look at it every 3 digits. If it had 4 digits, we would look at it every 4 digits. But because it's 25 and it's only 2 digits, we look at it 2 digits at a time. So 50, 25. Goes into it twice, which gets you 50. You subtract. It's a 0. 25 times 0 makes 0. And there you go. 20. It's just a really easy question for us to start on. You could have used the 0 rule, where you could have just brought out the 0. Brought it to the side, do 50 divided by 25, get 2, and then bring the 0 back over here. But our focus is on the actual division. Just a quick side note, this topic isn't that stressed just because of the fact that it's not going to be heavily looked upon because of the fact that you really do not need this topic. And because of that, they don't teach this, which is why you might not need to know this. I certainly did not learn this in school or came across it, because by the time we should have, we had calculators, so there wasn't really any need for this. So this is kind of just like a bonus video or just a showing off to your teachers. But let's do 2 more examples to get yourselves accustomed to the way we do this. We're only going to work with 2 digits. We're not going to work with anything more, in hopes of making that way too complicated. So we have two 29,521 divided by 53. Now we're looking at two pieces at a time. 25, 53. Can anything fit there? If we had, like, say, 46 and we had a 9. Could we do this? What would we do? Same thing applies here. If it's less than, and there's no number that's below it, that's closer to it, then we do 0. So we do 0. Bring down the 29. And we always bring down one digit. We still do that. That rule still applies. We don't bring down two digits because we're dealing with two numbers. We always bring down one digit. Whether we have more numbers over here and we're dealing with a lot of more digits, it does not matter. We only bring down one digit at a time. So this is kind of why this is a calculator-based thing, because you can't do 53 and think of it on your own. So I'm just showing you the way we would do this. And the closest number is 265. I'm just kind of going through it. It's 5. 5 times that would get that. We would get 30. Bring down one number at a time. We get 2. The next best thing is 265 again. So we do another 5 and we get 37. We did our subtraction. Bring down 9, 12. You got 37. Bring down the last digit, 371. And it fits perfectly. Now, obviously, the reason why multi-digit division, the reason why I didn't learn it, and the reason why you might not encounter it or you might not need it, is because of the fact that 265 and 53, they're hard numbers to come up with. You don't know 53 can make 265. Which is why teachers don't teach it, because this is supposed to be mental math. This is supposed to be math I'm sorry, I think something froze there, but this is basically supposed to be math you use without a calculator. But you can't do this without a calculator. I certainly would not be able to. I could, but it would take me a very long time. It would also take you a very long time as well to figure out what numbers come here. Which is why teachers don't typically teach this, because it requires a calculator. And if you already have a calculator, then you would just plug it into the calculator like this, without even doing all of this mess, and you would get a simple 557. So with our last example, not making this too long, but our last example will be, this will be a fairly easy one. Just have 11 and 319. No, scratch that. I do not want to do that one. I want to do, okay, 11 again, but 342. So remember, we look at it two numbers at a time. So 34. My bad, I'm thinking ahead. But what number is lower and closest to 34 that we can make by 11? That's a multiple of 11. Exactly, 33. I'm sorry, I kind of going a bit ahead over here. So we do that, bring the subtraction, we get a 1 over here. We bring down this number, because we bring down 1 at a time. Put a 3 over there. And this one, we're just going to it once, get an 11, get a 1. Now let's wait, we have nothing to bring down. So what do we do? Exactly, this becomes a remainder. Perfect. You know what, because of time, let's do one more. Do 11 again. This time I'm not going to spoil it and say what number. But again, think with 11, because 11, you know your multiplication with 11. So what's the closest to 86 that we can do with 11? Okay, well, this is my thought process. If I did 80, okay, if we're looking around 80, well, 8 times 11 is 88. Well, we can't do that. 9 times 11 is 99. It's still over 86, so we can't do that. 7 times 11 is 77. Well, This is closer. Let me just check. 6 would do that, but this is not the closest. This is the closest. Checked all my close numbers, so 77 it is. 77 to 7 minus. We would get a 9, bring down one number at a time regardless of what we are doing. And again, let's do the same thing. Since we're in the 90s, 9 times 11 is 99. That's over. Go down one more. 88. That works for me. 88. And we get a 7. But it was 88, so we've drawn 8 over there. But we get a 7. Nothing more we can do. No more numbers to bring down. So we just put an R and a 7. And there you go. That is our lesson on multi-digit division. Now remember, please check with your teachers if you are supposed to do this and if it's in your curriculum, because if not, then there's no worries. But this can always be just a little bonus video to get you a little advanced if you want to be advanced. But as said before, the reason why I really want you to check is because this kind of involves, or it does involve, a calculator. And because of the fact that it does involve a calculator, teachers don't really teach this because you can just plug in 865 and 11 to your calculator and just get 78 by itself without having to do all the mental math. And as I said before, all this stuff is mental. That means mental. When I say mental math, I mean no calculator. So the fact that you're using a calculator while doing something that shouldn't have it doesn't make sense, which is why teachers don't typically teach this. I'm just, for any of you or your parents that ask you, like, why don't they teach this? That was just my justification, but you really don't need to understand or know why they don't teach it. You just, all you need to understand is that they don't teach it, or they might. So ask your teachers, and third graders, please don't look at this kind of a bit advanced. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed this little video here. Stay safe, stay cool, and stay learning. Bye-bye.